Well, hello everyone, YouTube, this is Faruway, your manga reviewer from the very small island of Singapore. Now this is gonna be a review of this week's chapter of One Piece, chapter 795, Suicide. And what do I have to say about this chapter? It's so phenomenal and unbelievably unexpected. There is so much going on in this chapter that I cannot contain in this my excitement. Now this is going to be a very short review, but basically the entire chapter can be divided in three parts. The first part in the video was in the near beginning that focused on a series of short scenes in Dressrosa. Basically focus on Fujitora and Maynard, whether they want to arrest Luffy and Law. But it seems that Fujitora, he bet all of it on a dice and he cast it onto the floor, and it turns out that the outcome of the dice landed on a single eye, which means that they will not be going after Luffy and Law. And it's a good thing, because Fujitora isn't like the other admirals who are very persistent and very stubborn and arrogant in accomplish their mission. Like very persistent in chasing their targets until they can be brought down. However, Fujitora is not like all of them. He's a very calm man, and he believes that once the outcome has been set, we shall not whine about it, and that is why I like about him. He's a very respectable and a noble person. Now following after that, we saw a group of citizens of Dressrosa. They are thinking about Luffy, where his whereabouts and where is he, and they wanted to thank him for what he have done by saving all them from Doflamingo's reign. And then we went back to the palace, where we find out from King Riku that once he returns back to the throne and became a king again, Rebecca will become the princess of Dressrosa. But here's the thing, what about Kairos or Viola? A lot of people be speculating whether Kairos or Viola should become the next Straw Hat. And for Kairos, in my opinion, I think he would not become a Straw Hat member just because he wants to stay by his daughter's side. And I can see, because it's been like many years since he hasn't been with his daughter, ever since he's been turned into a toy. I mean, sure, he's been turned into a toy and being with his daughter's side, but not as a normal person. So this is the time for him to stay by his daughter's side and watch her rule over Dressrosa alongside her grandfather. Now for Viola, a lot of people also say that she is likely the candidate of the next Straw Hat Pirates. I can see that possibly be happening, but we will see how Oda proceeds with her character. I mean, now that Rebecca has become a princess, what is left for Viola to do? So after that, we get to the second part, which everyone has been waiting for, the return of the swirly eyebrow group, Sanji, Nami, Brook, Chopper, and Momonosuke. They are back after like 2 years of absence because of Oda sticking with the story of focusing on Luffy's group in Dressrosa. But we finally get to see Sanji's group again. Thank you, Oda, thank you. Now the last time we saw them is that Sanji is going head on onto Big Mom's ship, and that was the end of it. We don't know what happened to them, but now we find out that they were in some unknown island, which I believe it to be Zou. Also, it seems that we find out that this takes place the following day, and apparently they managed to escape from Big Mom's ship, according to Caesar. And while they were on the unknown island, they were chased by some group of pirates with outfits and horn headgears whatsoever. One of them looks like a sheep, who I think, yeah, he's kind of like a sheep Zoan who can turn his hand into hoops. His name was Sheep's Head, and his partner was this one very beautiful barely naked girl whatsoever, but wearing a top. And her face looks kind of like that one chick from the Kuja tribe, that one serious looking chick. I think her name was Kikyo. Yeah, that chick, yeah. It looks kind of similar, except the hairstyle and all. So this group of pirates, they attack Sanji group, and there were a lot of funny moments where Brooks got sent, Momosuke was swept onto the water, and Nami had to save them when she say that devil fruit users are apparently useless. And Brook goes one-on-one against Sheep's Head, and that's where he uses his Zoan ability, which calls Sheep's Horn, and Brook holding him off until Sanji came in and launched a devastating Diabel Jambe mutton chop onto Sheep's Head face and literally knocked him out. The female pirate member was surprised. She was surprised by Sheep's Head defeat, and we find out that she and her pirate crew are currently searching for a samurai. Now, she didn't mention the name of that samurai. From what I heard that Kinemon did say that they were going to Zou because there's a fourth samurai. And we also find out that Sanji's group is searching for a girl. And apparently we get to see the girl who is hiding behind a tree. And we didn't get a close up on that girl a bit, but she seemed to have a nose of a raccoon. And her hair is kind of like Mancherry. After Sheep's Head defeat, Chopper noticed something on his belt, and he asked Sanji and the others to come over here and look at it. And we find out that there is a Jolly Roger on the belt, and it seems that the Jolly Roger has multiple crossbones and horns. And I know that a lot of you guys know where this is going, even though whose Jolly Roger was that. Then we get to the third and final part of this chapter that we didn't expect to happen at the end. And basically, there was an explosion going on in Kid's base. Everyone was in the state of panic, but Kid asked them to calm down and inspect what the hell is going on over there. They begin to inspect that area where the explosion occurs, and there was a huge human-shaped crater. And we find out that there was this one guy who apparently wanted to commit suicide by jumping off from a sky island 10,000 meters above. What the hell? If you guys remember, like 2 chapters ago, chapter 793, we saw Uruj on the sky island and he was approached by someone. And we get to see this scene happening in this chapter. Apparently, Uruj learned about this person's motive and he doesn't want to stop him. Then Uruj explains the whole motives about the person to the people of Barentamol, saying that the person wanted to end his life because he has suffered defeats a total of 7 times and been captured by the Marines, and the Yonko 18 times. He has suffered 10,000 kinds of torture and been handed down the death sentence 14 times. But this guy cannot be killed. Even from being hanged, being stabbed, being pierced, being skewered, anything that pierced him or whatsoever, all those blades, spears, or guillotine, they all shattered to pieces. Not only that, he sunk a total of 9 gigantic prison ships whenever he went aboard them. And then we find out the identity of this man, who is none other than Kaido himself. Kaido of the Beast, 100 Beast Kaido, Hyakujuku no Kaido. I mean, seriously, before all of this happened, we learned a bit about Kaido. We learned from lore that he's the strongest creature above. But who didn't expect that he was the guy who wanted to commit suicide and suffer all those kind of sufferings in his past? Oda is simply trying to make all of our minds explode. I love Kaido's design and the appearance and all, especially the big horns, the goatee, the Fu Manchu dragon whiskers and all, and also the rope belt. He does look exactly like Ors Jr. and his ancestors, Ors, because possibly Kaido might have come from the same race as the two of them. But I know that a lot of people have been saying that he could have eaten the Oni fruit, or maybe that he could have been an Oni. But in my speculation, I think that he could be like a mixed hybrid of a human and a Oni, because if you look closely, he does have some human characteristic. I mean, we have seen Dellinger, who is a hybrid of a fighting fish and a human, and also that one guy from Foxy's crew, who is the hybrid of a giant and a fishman. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I support the idea that he ate the Oni fruit, and he himself is an Oni and all. But here's the thing. He is suicidal. So why didn't he eat the 2 devil fruits and drown himself in the sea? So yeah, Oda, what is going on? And there has been a lot of theories and speculation going on that the reason why he was made this way is because the previous owner of the Opie fruit granted him eternal life. And I can see that being possible, and it makes sense. Also, there are people saying that Law knows a way to reverse the effect. So this is a pretty interesting theory and speculation. And so we get back to the chapter and we see Kaido landed in front of Kid, Apu and Hawkins just as when they are about to proceed their plan to attack Shanks. And that is the worst luck ever. Oh my god. But I think that the Kids Alliance, they might get away from this. A lot of people, they say that RIP Kids Alliance. But just look at their faces. I mean, you guys noticed that Kids and Apu's face, they were like shocked and surprised by what they saw. But look at Hawkins. If you look at his face, he's not surprised or stunned by what he just saw. And if you know Hawkins, you know that he's good in predicting outcomes by his tarot cards. So because of Hawkins, it could be possible that both of them might be able to get away from Kaido. And Kaido was pissed off by the fact that Doflamingo was already defeated. I think he didn't learn about the news that he was defeated by Luffy and Law. Yeah. And he decided to light a match that will eventually grew into a flame that will spread like a wildfire, and this wildfire would eventually become the greatest war that the world has ever seen. And that's the end of the chapter. And what can I say? I have to give this chapter 11 out of 10. It was so amazing. We get to see Sanji's group, we get to see Kaido and all. Zoro's arc is going to come soon. I had a feeling that the Dressrosa arc is going to wrap up in 5 or 4 more chapters. Next following chapter will focus on the celebration feast routine in Dressrosa. So I really can't wait to see that. It won't be long until Dressrosa will finally wrap up and we get to the next arc, which is the Zoro's arc. And hopefully that island that Sanji's group was in is actually Zoro. We get a confirmation that was actually Kaido's crew that was chasing Sanji's group. And Kaido's design, oh my god. How is Luffy and Law going to defeat him now? The war of the Yonko starts now. It was worth waiting after that 1 week hiatus, and I'm glad that next week there won't be a break. So yeah, we get to see One Piece chapter next week. I really hope that you guys like my One Piece manga chapter review, because I try to do my best to review a manga chapter, so yeah. So what do you think of this chapter? Do you think that Viola will become the next Straw Hat Pirate crew? Do you think that the island that Sanji's group were in is actually Zou? Do you think the Kid Alliance will survive their encounter against Kaido? I have a feeling so. They will. So yeah, post your comments down below and let me know what you guys think about this chapter. So that's my review of One Piece manga chapter 795, Suicide. So if you like this video, give it a like, comment and subscribe. Until the next manga chapter review, this is Faruway signing off. Keep in touch and have a good day.